situation, are you not justified to be like, you fucking catfished me?
True. Maybe.
What if there's such a shocking difference that you have to be like, listen, woman, look at this.
Great point.
That's what you look like.
Okay, guys, welcome back to the weekly order. I'm hanging a bit of tits here, so we're obviously back on the beers to try to get ourselves keen. We made a rule a while back not to drink the night before podcast, but I think we've
broken it more than we've complied
I think we've ever complied with that one.
Yeah, are we all breaking the rule? Yeah. But yeah, no, it's good to be back again. 2020 is going well. Except we've had a few sad stories come in from South Africa. We're going to touch on one now. It's about the Parktown Boys School. They always seem to be in the limelight, eh? Whether it's the initiation,
Yeah, very sad. The whole situation that has arisen.
Yeah, so obviously, let me give a little brief. What happened basically was the school went on a tour to a camp like we always go. All schools usually do it. You go for like team building. Yeah. And they went to Nyati Lodge and they were busy doing an activity where they were building rafts and swimming and using the rafts in the water, and sadly one of the boys drowned. The child's name was Enoch Mpianzi, and 13-year-old kid who drowned. And apparently there's been so many witnesses and so many people that have come forward saying that it was such negligence.
There's a lot going on.
A lot of
that
negligence.
Led up to his death.
Yeah. And the thing for me is, another big thing about this argument, that it always seems to be Parktown Boys. I don't know why, but there's always drama at the school.
Or not,
if it's just coincidence,
like how the hell has another thing happened to Parktown
Boys? I mean, they had that whole thing about the initiation. They had the whole thing about
that guy Colin Rex touching everyone.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, a lot of that all happened at the exact same camp. As this
touching the boys there.
Yeah,
you kidding?
And that's why.
Interesting.
Yeah, and that specific camp actually was. I'm not sure if it was shut down or they weren't supposed to
go back there.
They weren't supposed to go back there because of that whole situation. And then just before, I think they overturned it somehow. But they also didn't have approval to go on this grade 8 camp in the first place.
Really?
What do you mean approval? From who?
So you have to apply to someone. I don't know who.
Oh, do you mean like government schools? They have to apply to?
Yes, they have to apply.
I like how you point out government schools.
But
I don't know. We had to apply to the headmaster.
Private schools is obviously different, but they had to apply, and it hadn't been approved yet. But they still went ahead in going on this grade 8 camp.
Yeah,
it's super sad, dude.
There's a lot to it. No, like the first thing for me, which blows my mind, is that they didn't do roll call when they got on the bus to go to this camp. So first things first, they don't know how many kids are on this camp.
That's ridiculous.
So they have no idea. Then the task that they did, they had to build stretchers basically, and then just one person would fake to be injured, and then they would carry them walk them across the river. And there was just no life jackets given. There were no life jackets provided by the school. The parents weren't told to bring their own life jackets. Now, I mean, I don't know how many are in a grade there, but it's probably like 170, maybe 160.
And public schools, it's a lot.
There's a lot of people,
the public school I went to had about 300 a grade.
In a grade, yeah. So you've got close to that many kids in water, and you don't even know how many are there.
Yeah, that's ridiculous, dude.
That's concerning as hell.
Yeah.
That's exactly why they didn't even notice that the kid was missing.
It's crazy they didn't even realize, eh?
Yeah,
it's so sad, bro. Like
they basically, well, when it first happened, from what I've read, a lot of the facilitators and or teachers, I'm not sure if the teachers were involved as well, brushed it off that Enoch was missing or had drowned or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
And then only when I think the facilitators then went and phoned the parents of the kids that weren't on the camp, because or they did a roll call in the evening after the activity.
Yeah.
And they then saw, okay, 8 kids from the grade are not here. Let's just check that they all didn't pitch up to camp. Which, I mean, because they didn't do roll call at the beginning, they don't know. And then they did, and then the one, Enoch's father, obviously said, no, he is at camp. And they said, okay, if we don't contact you in 2 or 3 hours, everything's fine.
That's ridiculous. How can you say that, eh? How can you leave a parent with that worry, bro?
Yeah.
That's insane, yeah.
I know, like, my mom, she sometimes will wait until I come home from a night out or whatever before she goes to bed. You know, you obviously worry about your kids. How can you call someone, say, is your kid on camp? Oh, he is? If we call you in 2 or 3 hours, everything's fine.
Yeah. Kind of like maybe
what's going on here, bro? What are you guys, what's going on here?
Maybe he'll just rock up.
I swear my life, I would have got in my car straight away, driven there and been like, you guys, this is ridiculous.
Exactly. Yeah. So, yeah, it's just insane, the circumstances around it. And there's been now, I think it's been like 5 deaths or so related to drownings at that place.
That lodge, that's what I saw as well. And it's not the first time it's happened. So I think maybe the question I want to put to you guys is, was it the fault of the school that should have looked after the kids? Or was it the fault of the camp?
There's combined negligence there.
Yeah, I would say it's a bit of both.
The school, firstly, for not taking roll counts at the beginning, not ensuring that there were life jackets, not taking the complaints.
Because apparently these waters were also like rapids, you know?
Yeah.
Like obviously if you look at it,
knock them just...
If you look at it, you should have been like, no, this is a bit too hectic for grade 8 boys, you know?
Kids,
just a simple test of one adult going in first and feeling how hectic it is could have easily stopped them all from going in.
But where Enoch and them were, there were no teachers or facilitators. The facilitators were down the river and the teachers, I think, were chilling at the top. So there was no...
Yeah, there was just too many kids. Yeah, so obviously then they didn't have enough facilitators then obviously for the amounts of children.
Yeah.
Firstly, right?
Yeah.
Secondly, they didn't do the checks that they needed to do to ensure that all the safety measures were put into place, you know?
I mean, the simplest is a life jacket. You're in water.
A life jacket.
Because you could... Something could happen to you. You could fall over. You could bang your head on a rock. And
so
that's
I remember when I went to... I might have been in Nyati Lodge, or it was definitely down there by like Sun City side. I went on a camp there. And we did this thing where we like used the zip line or fufi slide, whatever you call it, into the water. And I remember vividly that the instructor or facilitator once said to us that when we were doing this, he was like, yeah, don't drop here because like, so you're like, obviously you can let go at a certain point and fall into the water. Yeah. He's like, don't fall in here. Last time there was a kid that came here, fell in that area, and there's a few twigs and stuff sticking out and like sort of stabbed him.
Yeah.
And it's like, but then why do this at all? This kind of stuff. Why are you guys putting people that obviously are still learning about life and not being able to check for themselves in these situations? That's what I find incredibly crazy.
It's always an attraction, and people come there for that.
Yeah, look, I get the whole kind of like team building, using that for the kids to like get to know each other and like
but definitely
all that stuff. But
you can do that with a simple game of soccer or cricket.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to go to.
And obviously, in this situation, you don't have to cross a river.
Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah. If you're gonna carry a guy on a little medical thing that you've built, you can easily do that over a field or something way more safe that doesn't lead to these kind of things.
Yeah, I mean, it's just insane. So definitely the school and both that Nyati.
So I agree with that 100%. I feel like both of them have been very negligent. And obviously through speaking to people about this, a lot of people now that the principal got suspended
by the Department of Education.
And it's so true though. It's like when something goes wrong with a big company, the CEO always takes the fall, you know?
Yeah.
And I just think, I hope that this is not how it ends. They just suspend the principal and that's the end of it. I hope they actually find out the people that were 100% negligent.
Yeah.
The facilitators that were there, the lodge itself, and...
The problem is it'll probably apply, like the concept of vicarious liability will apply.
Yeah.
So the individuals themselves, because they were in the scope of their employment, they personally won't be liable to the camp liable completely, but it could be different.
It could be,
But I see the EFF have said they'll take on the case for free. I mean, against whether it's a school.
I applaud them 100%. I never thought I'd ever say that, but I applaud the EFF 100% on that one.
So it's just, I mean, I would definitely pursue legal action.
Definitely,
If they've got attorneys there doing it for free, good Lord, go. Because just on the fact that there was no life jackets by itself is, I think, sufficient grounds.
Yeah, already.
So, there is an unnecessary life lost. But
Very sad, bro. Imagine
Yeah.
dying at the age of 13, bro. You have hardly experienced anything.
Yeah.
so there needs to be proper consequences to this. And I mean, that headmaster of Parktown, was he there when all the other shit happened, or is he new? Because I've got the
I
impression
don't know
he's quite
that.
new.
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah, that much I don't know either.
Because that would be a shitty record, eh?
Yeah.
dude.
But now Kim's school, but the high school, they got called back from camp a day early recently.
Oh my
Because
word.
they, obviously this incident happened, I think a week, it was during the same week.
Yeah.
Or week before. And on their camp, 2 girls got bitten by some cobra.
Oh, hectic.
I don't know,
Hectic.
I can't remember what the name of the
Hectic.
cobra was. But yeah, they had to get rushed to hospital. And I guess things like that happen.
There's gotta be risk
There's
involved,
going to be
yeah.
risk
Yeah.
involved.
That's
But
why.
you see, that's what you do as a principal. Now he's like, in the light of Enoch's passing, 2 girls have been bitten by a cobra. Fuck this.
We're not
This-
doing these camps anymore.
we're
Yeah.
taking you back a day early.
And I think,
Mm.
dude, I think we've all had a lot of fun on these camps, you know. So it is sad that they might not experience that anymore. But if that's the safety measures they're gonna have to put in place to save lives, then I guess you're gonna have to do
Yeah,
it.
so
Yeah.
be it.
But
Mm.
lives could have been saved in this matter.
Just had
If
it
he was wearing
be.
a damn
Yeah.
life jacket, he would have
Yeah.
been
So
saved.
a life jacket, if there was supervision.
It's crazy.
You know, there's just a whole bunch wrong with.
So there's
with,
no
with
extraordinary
all of this
measures
stuff.
that need to be taken.
Yeah.
It's normal measures to
Yeah, just your normal things.
compliance,
Yeah,
no?
what the reasonable man would have done.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think these
the
things would
reasonable
go
man
without
test.
saying, which is weird.
Yeah. So I mean, like, that's, to me, it's as simple as that. I know the South African Human Rights
Yeah.
Commission have got involved. Not too sure why they're involved, but they went and they went to the lodge, and the lodge was locked up. So they
Well,
jumped
I'm
the
glad.
fence and stuff,
Yeah,
and they went around. And I saw like the mother was mourning and all of that stuff.
that's crazy, dude.
But yeah, that's
Very
Yeah, so I
sad.
think basically at the end of the day, we know a lot of people from Parktown ourselves.
yeah.
Turned out to be pretty good people. So like it's just something to do with that school though. Like, you know, I think if you had to ask a Parktonian now, they would be like, no, you know, they'll try to defend the school and whatever. But I feel like it's too many incidents that have happened at Parktown now that they just have to look at the way they do almost everything now because
Yeah.
something's not going
But
right there.
how are they going to come back as a school now? I mean, this is a third
Yeah.
major incident.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, my opinion is fuck you, Parktown. You've really fucked up this time again, you know.
Yeah.
And I know people from Parktown might think that's a bit too much to say, but I feel like just look at your record and be like, there is a big problem. We need to fix it.
Yeah. It's a weird thing, dude, because like if you take Parktown as a school,
It's a good school,
it's
good
a good
sports,
school,
good education,
sports,
everything.
good education. And do we put this to a few negligent individuals?
Or to the school itself.
to
That's
the
a good
school
question. Yeah, that's
itself.
what I was also thinking.
Yeah.
I think at the end of the
So-
day, to get action and to make people actually realize and make change, you're going to have to brand the school themselves.
Yeah.
The school's going to have to be
Yeah.
branded and checked.
Ultimately, they are responsible,
Yeah.
regardless of whether it's, say it was the dude touching or molesting all the kids. You still employed that guy. I mean, I can't ever put that responsibility on the employer,
Yeah.
but
You're
he
a
worked for-
representative
he worked
of
for you.
Parktown,
He's a
yeah.
representative of Parktown.
Yeah.
There's no single individual of Parktown. You made a
Seen
representative.
as
Yeah.
you're seen as unison.
And yes, and
Yeah.
one of you fucked up. And
Well-
now there's been 3 huge fuck ups.
I think to move on to the next topic, we just want to give our condolences.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It's very sad what happened.
Yeah.
Don't wish that upon anyone or anyone's child, and just hope that
The family gets something out
some
of this,
justice
yeah.
gets
Some
done,
type of justice, yeah.
and that the weekly order supports you. But let's move on. Something a bit more lighthearted. Something that most of us really don't give a fuck about. But Meghan Markle and Prince Harry leaving the royal family.
Yeah, we have to touch on it.
Yeah.
Because it's fucking big news.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like your standpoints already just by that sentence is going to be sort of similar to mine. Interestingly, this podcast, we've tried to arrange things differently where we haven't told each other the topics. Well, we've told the topics, but we haven't discussed them to each other. So we've put a rule where whatever thoughts you and research you do about something, we don't speak about it during the week. Yeah, we only touch on it when we get onto the podcast, so that we actually have a proper discussion ourselves, just to give that rawness. But
Yeah.
that's what I was saying now. I can see from sort of what you formulate is similar to mine. Firstly, I don't think it's not a big story to me. You know, it's a bunch of bullshit. They're covering it. They must be spending a lot of money covering these stories, sending out reporters, sending out people, a lot of manpower used to cover a shitty story like this. And at the end of the day, for me, the royal family as a whole should just be dissolved.
Exactly. Okay, what's the next topic?
No, I think let's go through it a bit further, obviously. But yeah, I mean, it's a family in America that's busy living off the taxpayers' money.
The UK.
Oh, in the UK,
yeah.
sorry, man. In the UK, obviously, I was just not thinking properly there. That are living off taxpayers' money, dude. That's fucking ridiculous, bro.
Yeah. So if you don't know,
I'm pretty
Prince
sure
Harry and Meghan have decided to relieve their royal duties and
become more independent.
Yeah, become more independent, like
Fuck
most
mammies.
18-year-olds do.
Yeah.
But they moved to Canada.
Yeah, so it looks like they're going to be in Canada for about 6 months to sort everything out and see what they're going to do. But interestingly for me, though, was how and why they're leaving. Okay, so that's why I do see why there might be a story behind it. But if you look at the news articles and the media, how they treated Meghan versus how they treat the other royals, I would definitely also be like, well, fuck this. I won't sit here for another 10 years going through the scrutiny. You know, like, why?
Yeah.
She's already successful herself. She doesn't need the money. She doesn't need that lifestyle.
Yeah.
But just to elaborate on the difference between how they treated Meghan and versus Kate, I think it is. I mean, Kate, it was all supportive. The media was fully supportive of everything, like whether it was a pregnancy or whatever. Then with Meghan, it was all like,
it was
she's
crazy.
doing something wrong.
Yeah. So
it's the same.
I've got two examples, where they have a photo of Kate and then Meghan holding their tummy while they're pregnant. And then on Kate's, it was the Daily Mail. That's the news agency that's made the stories. On Meghan's article, on Kate's article, it was like Kate cutely cuddling and cradling her baby while she walks down this road or whatever. And then the same photo of Meghan Markle was like, Meghan Markle can't leave her baby alone. Yeah. Why is she always touching her stomach? And it's like, goodness fucking gracious.
Like, fuck off,
Firstly, that you guys have a whole article on someone touching their tummy and how cute they are that they have a baby. It's ridiculous enough. Now you're going a step further and making it, okay, because this person is more accepted in the family, we're going to make a nice article. And because this person, we don't really accept them, it's going to be a defaming or shitty article. The other example was the whole eating avocado thing. And that it was in their diet. So, like, obviously, when they're pregnant, they release, like, people want to know what you're eating for your, like, to give your kid nutrients and shit. And then Kate was like, I had some avocados or whatever. And Meghan was just like, I've been eating avocados. Kate's article was giving her baby all the nutrients she needed. Meghan's was, why is she doing this? There's droughts. She's eating fruits and fucking, like, trying to get a status. Like, it's crazy, dude.
You like bored me to death telling me that. Even the outcome, like what the outport was about that.
Yeah, it was literally trying to blame her for, like, eating fruits because there's droughts in the world or some stupid shit, bro.
It is.
And it's just ridiculous, bro.
It's the reasons as to why they've been treated differently, I don't know. But I think one of the big talking points could be one of the big talking points is the fact that they want to become independent and they want to, leave their duties and whatever, but they still want to be funded.
Oh, do they?
Yeah. So
because I know they're not being funded though. The Queen said,
I saw she called like a big ass meeting and everyone had to go there.
She
like
said
a huge
they will
meeting.
no longer be backed by or funded by the taxpayers' money, basically, because they're in another country.
Yeah,
You're getting
exactly.
British taxpayers' money to live your life in Canada.
That's
But
ridiculous.
that's the thing. Initially, that's what they wanted. They still wanted to be funded by Prince Charles, who was the dad.
That's ridiculous, eh?
And then there was talks about, they need security because they're high-profile people, and who's going to pay for that?
So that's still in discussion, the security.
Yeah.
So Canada and England are literally in discussions about who should fucking pay
who's going to do it.
bro.
Yeah. So I think that's a big talking point is the funding and how they're going to go about doing this.
Yeah, dude. And I watched this video of this guy going on a big rant about it. Dude, it's so stupid, the whole thing. Two rich people leave a rich family and people are fucking making a big hoozy boozy about it, bro. It's like, also, I've never said hoozy boozy in my whole life. Whatever the fuck that is, bro. But yeah, first on the weekly order.
Clearly, there's people
who are interested in it.
Interested. That's why it keeps
They
coming
get the
out.
fucking clicks and
we
they get
are fucking talking about it on our damn podcast.
Yeah, but we know that
dude.
people want the clicks. Yeah,
But you know how much shit like the royal family has sued the media so many damn times, bro. It's insane when I was reading up on it. I mean, some of them, they came in on a helicopter and like was taking photos inside through their sunroof or some shit.
That's
like
ridiculous.
They
bro.
got Kate Middleton with her titties out. I don't know where she was. Luckily, it was her, not the Queen. But
Oh shit!
Also, I wish I did my research more properly. I would have seen that photo.
I stumbled across it. Babe, it's for work.
I have to.
Why'd you pick up? Sorry. But yeah, the whole back to the point on the royal family. I mean, yeah. So she wants to do like fucking voiceover and stuff, and she's actually signed a contract with Disney. Because Harry actually went and was talking to the CEO of Disney at the Lion King.
I saw that job. Trying to get a job.
Talking.
Yeah.
Like, she likes to do like whatever. Fucking Harry will do for you, bro.
But in doing my research, bro, I actually found it quite interesting that we've actually also been funding our royal families in the past few years with taxpayers' money, bro. Yes, I mean, look at Zuma's house.
We've got our own royal family here.
Zuma and his 9 wives, bro. I mean, we've got everything there, bro. We've got a nice pool that he had to pay like $2 for or whatever. Yeah. So we've also like, whether we like it or not, but the taxpayer
traditional
monarch
leaders, bro.
Yeah.
I think we cough up a fortune for those guys.
Yeah. I think it's, so I know in Lesotho, but they're their own country.
Yeah.
Within our country, which never made sense to me.
Yeah, it is strange.
It's like we surround you, bro. Like you want to do anything, we got you.
Yeah.
But anyway, they very big on like they've got a royal family and they've got a king and everything like that. So that's very interesting. So they obviously use their own taxpayers' money there as well to fund them. And I know from speaking to my friends and everything, there's a lot of like where like tradition in South Africa still stays alive, where there is still like a king of a village, and but they're not funded by taxpayers' money, they're funded by the community. So the community all comes together and then they fund because they all believe like, okay, this is our king,
But I guess in these situations, I mean, lots of people will be like, well, fuck that, I don't want to fund them. So now they're like, okay, well, we're going to force you by paying taxes.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. So I actually think they do get a bit of tax money now that I'm thinking about it. I wish I did. I never thought I was going to speak about
who
that.
gets a bit of tax money?
The kings of the villages,
Those
bro.
villages,
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah. I didn't even think I was going to bring that up, but
I think it's Zwelithini. Fuck, man. Yeah, sorry for getting that wrong. He got a fortune this year. And I'm assuming it's all taxpayers' money. But
I would imagine so,
yeah,
at the end of the day, for me, though, bro, I think it's just, it pisses me off that people can fucking go and live their lives with taxpayers' money. Bro, there's so many people that struggle in this world. And then there's people that literally just, because where they are born and what they are doing, they get taxpayers' money. Like, that's fucked, dude. Imagine, we pay a fuckload of tax, bro. I mean, when I started paying tax, I was like, this is fucking shit, bro.
Yeah.
Dude, I was like, this is ridiculous. And I'd literally see no benefit out of it. Nothing, dude.
Yeah.
If I do not...
We do not see a benefit.
If I do not do my own retirement funding, I'm fucked. If I do not pay for my own medical aid, I'm fucked. If I do not do certain things where the tax is supposed to help us, I'm fucked, dude. And it's because our government doesn't run it properly, bro.
So we've got like the roads are okay.
Okay, our roads are pretty decent. Yeah, the roads are
they
I use,
I mean, for the most...
When I hit a pothole, every time I swear the government, bro. I swear my life.
Our roads are not very good.
And I mean, like, the electricity is kind of there.
No, but that you still pay for out your own pockets. On top of everything, you know.
We still have to pay for that. Yeah,
and it still doesn't work.
I mean, the actual infrastructure itself, I mean, you look at the courts, I mean, those things haven't been fucking
disgusting, bro.
10 years. Way
yeah, if you're going to go study law and you think you're going into the suits environment, you fucking way wrong, bro. I had a heart attack the first time I went in there, bro.
It's actually insane like how little we see for what we pay.
It's ridiculous,
it is
bro.
Crazy. And the amount that gets squandered.
And the judges get paid so much, but the courtrooms look like fucking ass, bro.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Because it's all going into the back pockets at the end of the day.
Dude,
that's
the sad thing.
It's just too deep-rooted.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, we got into a bit of a corruption debate now.
Yeah, everyone comes. There's no budget. Then who the fuck's got the money?
Yeah. No, dude. South Africa's very good at making money just fucking disappear, bro.
Yeah. And luckily, you don't get any consequences here, except for this 2 billion rand commission inquiry that's still going on.
I think we should rather just put a fucking royal family in place so we at least know where it's going. You know?
But we still know where it's going. It's just not supposed to be. So that Meghan Markle and that's pretty stupid. She can be a voiceover artist. They can make their own income, pay for their own security.
At the end of the day, do whatever you want. I don't care.
But actually back then, that's cool that they got out the royal family.
I'm very happy, dude. I don't think this has ever happened, bro.
But Harry was a A wild one.
He was a wild one, yeah.
yeah.
Wild boys.
This guy's singing on the show.
No, I want to listen to that song so badly now, bro. Again, but yeah, dude. Like you just said, I do agree, dude. I think it took a bit of cahoots and balls to fucking say, listen, I'm going to leave this family's thing, you know.
But on the other end, though, like you have responsibility as well as a member of the royal family. So
because
it's
otherwise it's going to be literally just giving them tax money for nothing. But what I want to say, that's what I wanted to say. I think Meghan Markle could probably convince me to leave the fucking royal family though as well.
Yeah,
right?
fair
You know?
enough, dude.
You look at her and you're like, okay, whatever you want me to do,
I'll
do
follow
it,
you
bro.
wherever you go.
Yeah, it's like to the ends of the earth, bro. I mean, look, he was fucking flashing his dick in Vegas. All of a sudden now he's behaving. It's like, okay, she's done a good job.
So when do you think they go running back and like?
Do you think they would? That would be hilarious.
I don't think so, but it'd be funny if
that would be a news article to me.
Or if the relationship goes sour.
Rich people want to be richer, go back to the family.
What happens at that point?
The money ran out. Be like, you gotta get a job.
You have to actually work. You can't just go and look like you're working.
God, taxes are gonna scare them.
Yeah,
they have to fucking pay tax.
Imagine, bro, because they're not tax exempt anymore. Fucking what a dream, bro. Because I was speaking to someone about that as well. It's like it would be so funny if they paid tax. It's like you're paying tax to pay yourself again. It's so stupid, bro. It's like just if they said, okay, you guys don't pay tax, it's fine. You just take our tax money.
Yeah.
God.
But yeah, I think we're gonna move on to the next topic, which is obviously gonna be assisted suicide. Okay, yeah. So moving on to assisted suicide. Let's get everyone's thoughts on assisted suicide. Are you for it or are you against it? And have you looked into the arguments for and against assisted suicide? So maybe just to start it off, though, let me tell you the countries that have obviously legalized it and giving everyone a bit. If you don't know what it is,
assisted suicide is just what it is. It's basically
That's
the right to die. So if you're terminally ill or whatever, you can get euthanized.
You put yourself
to
down.
Various certain conditions.
So you put yourself down. Obviously, you kill yourself, and it's legal in Canada, Belgium, Netherlands, Luxembourg, Colombia, which really shocked me.
Yeah.
Switzerland, parts of the USA and Australia, but you have to meet certain criteria.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
So the criteria is that you must be terminally ill. Okay, so you must be diagnosed with something that's going to kill you in a couple of months, obviously, right? And you must be able to prove that you are sound of mind at that time, and that it is voluntary. And then this one, which was quite weird to me, is that you must have expressed repeatedly that you want to die.
So that you're not.
It's not like a once-off thing. Yeah. So
like you're sure about it.
It is very, very. It's a very hectic topic, bro. And if you dive into it, there's so many things that come into play.
There's a lot.
So firstly, like the first layer is legislation, right? So will the country allow you to do this? The second layer dives more deep into who you are as a human being and what you believe, right? So obviously from a most religious standpoints, you can't do it. Like you're not allowed to kill yourself. And then morally also, whose death is that hands on? You know, who's the...
that's a big question
that
arises,
You know, and like, I know this is extreme, but you could have some psychopathic doctor that starts killing people and just says, no, these are all assisted suicides, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you never know. And it's just a crazy gateway that it opens for me, bro. So, I honestly... So, I don't know if you want me to dive straight into my beliefs on it and my standpoint.
Yeah, go ahead.
So let me give you my standpoint, right? So obviously backed by those various things, like I said, legislation, religion and everything and all those things, I don't think it should be allowed. Okay, I do understand that people are in so much pain that they want to kill themselves. But I saw an article from the United States that only a third of the time people kill themselves because of the pain. The rest of the time, it's more people that are really depressed that are looking for assisted suicide and just giving up on life.
But how are they allowed to do it then?
No, so they found out, like, out of everyone who would want to do it, it's only a third of the people that would do it through pain.
It was like a study.
Yeah, it was like a study. So, like, who wants to kill themselves or who would want to do assisted suicide if it was legal right now?
Circumstance or
and
whatever,
then it was, okay, a third of those people were only because of the pain they would want to do it. So the pain argument is actually quite small in comparison to what it is, right? So I don't know, dude.
That's just like the reasoning behind it. I mean, you can ignore the people that are depressed.
Yeah.
I mean, like, okay, well, sorry, dude.
Yeah, if you're
Old
depressed.
methods for you. But,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, I think, at the end of the day, I think people who really want to kill themselves are just going to end up doing it themselves, right? So, that argument's also gone. Depressed people are just going to kill themselves eventually, bro. I've been there a few times.
Oh shit!
Depressed people eventually.
So yeah, for me, my standpoint is that I don't think it should be allowed, right? Because for me, if you've been, they've told you you're terminally ill, you're going to die in 6 months, right? You're obviously going to be in a degree of pain, and in a situation of pain, you will or do things that you wouldn't do normally, right? It's almost like if you're intoxicated, you would do things that you wouldn't do.
That's why the second factor comes into play, where you have to be of sound mind.
Yes, but how do you prove sound mind always? You know,
can do it. That's what I think it needs to be done, like in terms of a living will or whatever. You need to state.
Yeah, okay.
And then maybe you could just reiterate it when you
terminally ill. Yeah.
But that also raises complications, because you could say, when I'm terminally ill, let's kill me. But then you're like, okay, in the hospital bed, you're like, shit, no, I'm terminally ill.
They want to kill you.
So that's
let me just maybe wrap it up here from our side. So I think 90% of the time, people aren't going to be in the right sound of mind, whether you like it or not. I've heard stories from friends and family of people who had cancer who were in so much pain that they might, in that instance, wanted to have rather just ended it now.
In that instance, yeah.
Yeah, but you would never say that in a normal instance, These aren't depressed people that we're speaking about now that don't like life at all. These are people that enjoyed life, but they got sick and now they want to die. I think, dude, people have been suffering with pain, and it's part of life for a long time now. So why?
But that part of life doesn't really have any substance behind it. Like there's
still moments that you could enjoy, though. Definitely, yeah. So then put them on a shitload of morphine, bro, until eventually you just fucking poops. Because the other thing for me is, bro, which is a big thing for me, and I don't know why, it's whose death is that hands on? Is that doctor then a killer now? Every time he kills someone and assists them in dying, he's putting them down like you would put down an animal.
Is the vet a killer?
But that's different. It's an animal, not a human being, and we know there's a difference, bro.
I like animals more than I like humans.
So would you like all these animals being put down?
I prefer it to the suffering. Yes.
You'd rather put an animal down
than have a thing that's been hit by a car, limping, has got brain tumor hanging off the side of his head.
Most of the animals that are being put down are animals that just there's no more homes for them, so they don't have space or money.
They're starve to death or something like that.
No, they're animals. They'll find a way to find food, bro. They will survive, bro. That's how we have all been programmed. You look for food and you'll find it and you'll eat it. Obviously, in the rare cases, you will die because there's nothing to eat, but that's life. Let life take place. That's my final thing.
Well, I guess that's why.
Yeah.
I guess that's why it's such a big
argument. Sorry, no, literally, just let life take its course.
Yeah.
Don't interfere with it.
That's why it's such a big talking point as well, because there's so many for things and there's so many against things.
I don't want to get into the nitty gritty because we've always said on this podcast we're not going to touch on certain aspects like politics, race, religion, and that kind of stuff. So a lot of the arguments that are for and against this involve those things. So I don't even want to get that deep into it.
Yeah.
For me though, my final standpoint is just I don't think it should be done.
Okay, I mean, I am for it. I'm quite strongly for it, but I'm aware of the difficulties that will be encountered. But I'm for it. Simply put, if you are in such a shitty state, it would be better off dying than waiting for it to kill you. Then why should you not be entitled? Well, I know why, but you should be entitled to do so. But I'm aware of the complications. But I mean, another one is that, like you said, if someone really wants to die, they're going to kill themselves. Sometimes they're not in a strength to do that.
Yeah.
That means you automatically have to get someone else involved. And that means someone else is physically pulling a trigger or doing something.
So if they can't physically do it though, how are they in the right sound mind to decide whether they should be killed or not?
Sound mind and physical ability are two different things.
No, but if I'm so fucked up that I can't even kill myself, whether it be the cancer that's eating me away or I'm definitely in pain if I can't move my body, if I can't even kill myself.
What if you're too scared to kill yourself and you need someone else to do it? Like, I don't want to shoot myself.
But
in the head, you need to shoot
already
me.
Creates a thing for me that you're not ready for this. You're really not ready for it. Wait for it then.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
No, so that's
I'm just giving you my points.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's the whole point of this. But that's one of the concerns, and it does happen a lot where people assist other people with killing themselves by unplugging the machine secretly or whatever it might be that movies portray.
Well, a lot
it to
of
be.
people that get very depressed, I know it's a big thing in the druggy culture, they actually end up overdosing together.
Like deliberately overdosing.
Yeah, deliberately overdosing and killing, and they do it together. It's like a Romeo and Juliet type of
vibe.
But
see, so there's factors like that, but now with the factors that are really against it, there's obviously the religious beliefs. But I mean, if you fall under that religion, so you either breach your religion or you do it, whatever. I don't care.
Yeah. See, that's the thing for me, though. I think it becomes a lot more personal than as blank as yes or no. You can do it or you can't do it. Yeah. That's the thing.
So I mean, there's the religious, there's the moral, there's the ethics, whatever. I mean, that's up to you as a person. That's not a proper consideration for me, because if it's against your religion, then just don't do it. I mean, so that's fine.
Yeah, something super interesting that I read up on. Saying like go against your religion. A big thing is also the doctor's oath. So obviously a doctor would be the one that puts you down.
Yeah.
And a big thing is that doctors take an oath to protect and help people. That's all they can do, right? And now they're killing people. And doctors are like, we can't do this.
Contradictory,
now
basically.
You must. And I know obviously some doctors will be in a situation where, fuck, my practice isn't doing that well because doctors are businesses, bro. And now this guy has to eventually introduce this into his practice, killing people just to make ends meet, you know, like... Are you putting the burden on doctors then to kill people? And eventually there will be poor doctors that aren't making the money of the boob surgeons and the face surgeons that will say, okay, I'll do it because I need the money, but now the burden's on him to take all these lives away, you know? And at the end of the day, you are taking a life. The heart is beating and you're making it stop beating.
I think you making it... I don't know, the way I'm interpreting it from you is like you're making it sound like it's literally... He comes into the consult room... He's like, no, listen, I'm ready to take my life. Let me take it. There needs to be a fucking mission of a process beforehand.
But what I'm saying at the end of the day, though, is someone's pulling the trigger. And who's pulling the trigger?
Yeah, but you're sitting there with your loved ones. Fucking the one guy was saying, or the wife of the guy that's in Belgium, he did assisted suicide. They were lying in bed together. Bought him 2 cigarettes. He wasn't allowed to smoke, but he was going to die in 2 minutes. He had a couple of smokes. Sit there, and he was like, I'm ready to go. And they started singing, and he started singing with her, and they just put him down.
I can't even think about this shit. I watched the video of this chick being put down. It was the scariest thing, dude. She was breathing, and then she took, like, it was busy killing her, and she took one deep breath, and she was like, and she was dead. And I watched
this in prison by, like, the lethal injection?
No, this chick was literally sitting on a couch. It was in, I think it was Switzerland, and there was a whole story on it, and it fucking... Just seeing death is the weirdest thing to me, bro.
Yeah, that's hectic, bro.
So, sorry, please.
Yeah. So I was gonna say I've obviously been very quiet during this whole conversation because
getting to you,
I truly and honestly don't like thinking about these things.
I also don't.
So for me to actually deep dive into it is actually quite tough. But I think each individual case will have to be, treated differently, I would say, and which it will if they put the right things into place. And like I said, there's a lot for it and there's a lot against it. So I'm leaning towards against as well. But like I said, I don't really like thinking about these type of things.
Here's the thing, though, right? As much as you can say, here's another thing that I'm thinking, right? Is that obviously people go to war and you consent going to war and everything, right? So they come back with so much trauma, even though they've consented to doing everything. There is that consent there still. Even though those doctors got consent to kill people, it's going to take a psychological toll on them. Eventually, all these lives.
I think doctors are more equipped than soldiers to deal with trauma, bro. Because they deal with
that's
on
a strange
daily basis.
Statement. Yeah,
they have death on their hands.
Yeah, all the time.
Every fucking
day.
But
the thing is, I don't know the statistics, but I'd say most of the times they get that good feeling of actually helping.
I would say it will weigh on them, definitely.
Definitely, bro. I'll start seeing dead people in my sleep, bro.
Yeah,
that poor lady that was suffering so much, I fucking killed her.
I mean, maybe you don't have to be obliged to do it. You could be a doctor that says, listen, I don't do that in my practice.
Yeah. I think if they wanted assisted suicide, though, they should just, like, everyone can watch you and then, like, you pull a fucking trigger yourself or something.
No, because then you blow half your face off.
Not a trigger, but learn how to do... pull the triggers just to... metaphor for killing yourself. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But like, put the needle in yourself or something. Don't put that burden on someone else. Imagine me coming to you saying, Frey, you got to kill me now.
If you want to do it, then fuck. But I mean, I wouldn't do it because I'd be in shit. I'd rather have it legalized and the doctor do it.
No, obviously, I know what you're saying. I'm not like.
But he's just trying to say, like, how would you feel?
How would you feel if I had to put that burden on you?
Yeah.
If it was legal for me to do it, and you really needed, and I say I was a doctor, and you needed me to do it, and you're terminally ill.
I guess you can't really say though, because we would never be in that situation.
I've never been in that situation, but I know that I am helping you because you are not suffering.
But for all we know, you could have waited a week and my heart would have stopped because of the disease anyway. Just give it another week.
An extra week. What the fuck difference does it make?
Exactly. Just wait it out.
You suffered more. Or it could have been 10 years.
You said it's an extra week. No, how are you terminally ill for 10 years?
People get
Terminally ill, I think, is definitely going to be 6 months to a year. Definitely. That's going to be that.
I don't think you should have to wait for 6 months. And those medical bills and all that shit. Next thing your estate is nothing.
You should have done good financial planning then.
Yeah. Well,
but yeah.
the one big issue is for me is that where do you draw the line? So we keep saying terminally ill and all of that stuff. I think it's very difficult to exactly say who qualifies and who doesn't.
Yeah,
like,
definitely. That's what I'm saying.
You have a bad headache one day and you're like, kill me.
Yeah, end it.
This is it.
And you repeatedly express it.
Yeah, and you have a grandpa.
And your girlfriend broke up with you that day as well. Yeah. And, eventually you're just like, fuck.
Okay, guys, I overreacted.
I'm not for depression.
The balls are racking up and you're like, well... This headache's really bad.
Let's call it,
yeah. Dealing with it in our own way. And then, so terminally ill, it could be, the vegetative state, that's difficult because you can't fucking consent to anything.
Yeah.
So that needs to be done in a living will.
Yeah.
Which you can do in this country, if I'm not mistaken. Like the do not resuscitate and all of that stuff.
Not assisted suicide,
You can't do assisted suicide, but you can't. I think you can do not resuscitate,
You can do homicide, though. That's legal.
The murder.
A lot of murder, yeah.
Yeah. But so, okay. You guys have contrasting opinions to me.
It's very interesting, though.
It is quite interesting.
Look, at the end of the day, dude, you won't know what's going on in someone's mind. You won't know how much pain they're in until you're in. And I don't think there's ever been someone in the same situation ever in this world, bro. It's the beauty of life, dude. But that's what I'm also just saying. Preserve it for another month or two.
But he hasn't, just like another argument, like your grandfather's lying on his deathbed from cancer, whatever. He's 190 years old.
I think that was a true story anyway.
And he's sitting there and he's going, fucking kill me. Just get someone.
I'll say to him, here's a bunch of morphine. Just wait another week or two. It's probably going to take you then.
That's what I was saying. Like each individual case will have to be treated as that.
Because I'm not going to look at the doctor and be like, you got to put this guy down now. He's over it.
But it's more formal than that.
No, I know.
Also,
they're going to have to get some doctor in that's fine with it. But then 3 years from that guy's going to commit suicide because he's killed so many people, assisted in their deaths. Like, I just think it's a fuck show. Let nature take its course. That's my argument. But yeah, I think that's where my final standpoint is. It's no, let nature take its course.
Yeah, I say if it's going to stop suffering, go for it.
I understand, dude. I understand people do get in pain. I don't say that they're not in pain and you can't help them. But I think help them by putting drugs in place that will keep them alive, but just take the pain away. Because, dude, I've seen it.
Keeping them alive for like a limited period, just end it.
Yeah, I know, but if you keep them alive for another month, you skip all that complication that we just spoke about.
But what are they getting out of this? Like, fuck, bro.
Nothing, but the world is...
I'm in a hospital bed. I've got
the
brain
world's
damage.
getting more out of it. Less complication. But we've got to move on soon, so...
Yeah.
I think our final standpoints. I'm against it.
I'm for it.
And
I'm more against it.
Yeah. Look, at the end of the day, I think people are just going to decide themselves if they really want to kill themselves, they will. On a more lighter note, speaking about what's legal and what's not legal.
Is it lighter?
It is a lot lighter.
Because it's good. I think
it's good.
Yeah.
We'll get everyone's points
Yeah.
now. But we have now made it illegal in South Africa to do revenge porn, which basically means nudes are punishable by death. But okay, not death, obviously. But if you release someone's nudes that they have sent to you, guess what, motherfucker? You can get fined. Okay, so I'll tell you exactly what can happen. So
revenge porn is basically sending someone's nudes without their consent.
Yes.
So like you break up.
And now you're like, well, I'm going to show you titties and whatever.
I'm going to show everyone.
Again, so let's just explain it properly. So if you leak nudes sent to you, you can go to prison or get fined. So this is how it works. You must knowingly distribute these sexual photos without consent is number one. You must be sharing them publicly to cause harm or distress. And it's a lot more severe if the person that you're sharing the photos of can be identified in the photos. So, which is, I mean, we've obviously all got a nudes or sent nudes or whatever the story may be. Oh yeah. But a lot of the times, it's like maybe from the neck down or something. You know, they just send a photo of their titties or something. So obviously in those cases you can't really identify the person. So they've made being able like getting their face in the photo and everything also a thing which I found very interesting.
So it's with the identification, because we'll get into the amounts and stuff shortly, like the two different ones where you either identify them or you don't. Yeah. It can be literally a tattoo. It can be fucking
something that which is good though. That's true though, because you'll know it's them.
You got a star tattoo or whatever.
So if you can get a fine of up to 150,000 rand if you can't identify the person. But if you can identify the person, you can get up to a 300,000 rand fine, or you can go to prison.
So
it could be both as well.
Unidentified is and or 2 years prison, and then identified as and or 4 years. So 300k and 4-year prison sentence. I mean, so
it's quite hefty, dude.
I think this is exactly what the world needs. I think this is the best piece of legislation that they've put in place. And here's my argument for it, bro. I think couples should be able to do, or sexual partners, whatever, should be able to do whatever. I'm so for nudes, bro. People must send and share nudes. And even I don't know if girls enjoy it or whatever the fuck, bro.
So you send quite a couple of nudes then?
No, I don't send, but I like to receive, bro. Dude. But there's obviously that sexual, like that gratification. Gratification that comes from. It's like a different.
It's risky.
It's exciting. So I think couples should be able to experiment with that without having the worry of this fucking shit could go out. And now that there's legislation in place, that I think this is going to promote nudes. I think more nudes will be sent
because it has to be publicly distributed. So,
but publicly if you even be a WhatsApp group.
But that's what I'm saying. Like if I take it on my phone and I'm like, hey, check this out. Then it doesn't count.
That's a bit of a complication. That is true.
So there are a few complications with the actual wording of the bill. So it's the Films and Publications Amendment Act or something like that. So they say, I mean, one of the things is that has to be intended to do harm.
Yeah.
I mean, not all. If I'm sharing news without authority, I might not be intending to do harm. I might be saying what you just said. Might check this out. Here's a naked picture.
That's why the word intention is.
But I think you should know, instead of intention, instead of the word intention, it should be knowing that there could be harm from it. Because there's going to be harm done either way.
Yeah.
No one wants their fucking news leaked onto the internet, bro.
So that's the one where it's got to do with harm.
Yeah.
Then they've changed the definition of private. I think it is. Yeah, private. It's to mean something that is not intended to be seen by others. Mm-hmm. When you are sending a nude, you're intending it to be seen by others.
Well, one other.
Yeah.
So there's still a private in between a relationship. But I know what you're trying to say. Yeah.
Because the act is so new, there's those loopholes that
definitely. So a few more people have to share them for it to get amended again. There's got to be a bit more case law done. But dude, like I said, I'm so for it, bro. I think couples and people who are in sexual relationships with each other, whether you're dating or not, should be able to have as much fun as you want. Do whatever the fuck you want to do. Experiment, enjoy. Do whatever the fuck you want to do.
Without having that worry.
Dude, I think the world's way too progressed at the moment to still be worried about small things like that. And I mean, also, you won't have people getting famous like Kim Kardashian magically became overnight because people won't be sharing that shit. Yeah. I think that's a great thing. We're going to have less Kim Kardashians then.
At least the better.
Yeah. I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, what the hell was I going to say? Not again. 2 episodes in a row. No. So what I initially thought, like, this topic came up because we stumbled across a news article. I mean, it did happen in October. Yeah. We're a tad late, but
I never knew about it. We never knew about it.
So I actually went and I was like, well, what was the case before this? Like, why was there not legislation in place? So before this, you would report, or you would the offense would be crimen injuria.
Okay.
But now it doesn't really fit that, because crimen injuria is essentially
defaming someone.
Yes, saying it's racism. It's defamation. It's like that. It hurts your dignity. That's
So
what it
we've
is.
literally just nailed it though.
Yeah.
Now with this new
So now
legislation,
that sets it out. There we
that's
go.
what you can do and can't do.
I
So
mean,
I don't know. Let's pass the question off to the viewers. Because obviously it's 3 guys sitting here.
Yeah.
I don't know, girls. Do you enjoy nudes? Get it from the girls' point of view.
yeah,
And-
so
Well, like from dudes.
From dudes, do
Yeah, I
chicks
know.
actually enjoy this shit or not?
We know people
'Cause
who
guys-
just send them out,
No,
send
we
dick
need to-
pics
we
out
need to
like it's
post-
nothing, bro.
We'll post that question to our Instagram if girls like getting news from guys.
And see what people say. Yeah,
Mm.
because that's quite interesting. We'll just do a little poll or whatever.
Yeah.
No.
Because I mean, obviously, every single guy fucking loves getting a nude.
Yeah,
bro.
of course.
Fucking instant stimulation right there,
Yeah.
bro. But I don't know. Maybe it's different for girls, and fuck, I would love to get a girl's point of view on this whole topic. So maybe comment, let us know.
Because I'm going to be brutally honest, and I mean, I'm not lying, I promise, because I'm being brutally honest. I have never. Sorry, that was fucking stupid. I have never sent a nude to another person.
Is it because in fear of what might happen, or just do you
I
feel
have
awkward?
No idea. I have no idea what
Never
it
even
is.
thought about it, just haven't done it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't want to do it. Like,
Yeah, but that's what I want to ask you. Like, what is it that's stopping you?
I have no idea. I mean, there will always be that fear, I think.
Yeah.
Of, like it getting leaked.
Maybe you become famous after that, though.
But
Never know.
Yeah, no,
People
because
start calling you schlong. That's a schlong.
or they could be calling me something else, like small dick. That's not the case. Kind of.
But yeah, I think it's very good. It's interesting, and I think people should let us know what their thoughts are on this, bro. 'Cause I think it's something.
that Cyril actually fucking did.
Yeah, well, I know.
Yeah, well done.
Obviously, Cyril just signed it at the end of the whole fucking process, and he gets all the credit for it. But
Yeah.
Parliament, good job.
Yeah, well done, guys.
Okay. Let's move on to we posed a question on because we're actually starting the weekly order dating guide.
As you know, we are the best.
We are the best. So we
Yeah.
have 2 single guys who have hardly ever been in relationships, and then we have 1 guy who's in a relationship now. So we thought we would help you guys get through your relationships. So we posed the question to our Instagram followers, and we asked, what should you not do on a first date? Because we're going to start at the first date, and then every week we'll work towards actually
Step by
marrying
step.
and getting into the right relationship
Yeah.
and everything. Because we're obviously experts at this.
So if you're thinking of that first date, listen now.
Weekly.
Yeah, so the weekly order dating guide is now in place, and we're going to help you guys obviously go through your whole dating life straight to marriage. So we're starting with the first date. Because that's one thing for me, bro. If you're dating without the goal of marriage, you're wasting your time.
Exactly.
But anyway, that's maybe an argument for a different day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's controversial.
Okay, anyway.
No, I agree with you.
Yeah,
However, unfortunately,
agree
my
as well.
girlfriend disagrees. So
really? Because how can you date someone for 2 years, give it up, and then, okay, next one?
not really give it up. She's more like, what's the point of marriage?
What's
It's just a ceremony.
okay, no,
yeah,
that I
yeah.
understand more than not having a goal of being together for the rest of your life.
She's got a good point. Like the only thing I can counter that with is like, fuck it, it's tradition.
Yeah.
It's like I don't have any.
Also, if I
proper-
die intestate, it's fine then.
Yeah, but you can still draft a contract between the two of you, I guess.
But then you have to do, it's basically doing a will then. So anyway,
Yeah. We won't get into it.
Yeah.
I was about to weigh in there as well, but
so we asked all our Instagram followers, the whole 190 of them, what not to do on a first date, right? So we've got a few good responses here, a few stupid ones, but we'll cover them all for you and give you our dating advice on that. So we're obviously starting with the first date. So the first thing you should not do is talk about your ex, which I totally agree with, bro.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
standard.
If you
Because
still seem like you hung up,
yeah,
what the fuck are you doing in front of me at this date?
it's a clear indication that you're not over that person.
Yeah.
Because even if you are negative, you say, "Oh, you are so polite like this. He never used to do this for me." It's still in your mind,
Yeah.
you know, and that gives away signals.
But
Completely.
is there maybe like a if you want to speak about why I struggle to get into relationships or something because of said
Yes.
X has
But
happened,
then
on
it's
a
more
first
of
date?
understanding why am I so fucked up because
Maybe,
said
yeah, see,
experience.
maybe not a first date.
On a first date, still, I
Definitely
don't
not.
think you should be
No.
diving into those
Definitely
type
not.
of things,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah, it's way too deep.
First date, you
That's a
make
good-
your impression of who you are, and
Yeah.
this is sustainable, and
Yeah.
then hopefully you.
I think if the other person, by chance, knows of the person you used to date and asks,
then,
then keep it brief.
if they bring it up, keep it brief, cut
Yeah.
it down,
and
shove
then
it
move
away.
on. Yeah.
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 Okay, so I think that's sorted. Talk about your ex.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Okay. The second one, I disagree with. This person said you must not get drunk on your first date. I think if you both are vibing, you both are drinking, go for it.
Drinks are flowing,
vibes flowing.
Maybe they meant in the sense that
Like
you're
it's
wasted
sloppy.
and she's not. you
Yeah,
know?
so I think both parties should be drinking equally. Let's put it like that.
And I definitely think, I mean, if you're a drinker, there should be no reason why you guys are sitting there not drinking.
Yeah.
I can drink, let loose a little bit.
Because otherwise, if you portray on this first date that you're not a drinker as well, she's going to be like, by the fifth date, like, goodness, fuck, where did this college kid come from?
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah,
It's going to be like, holy shit,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you're not being true to yourself.
Exactly.
If you do like to have a drink and you like to get drunk, I think show it, bro.
You know, it'll take the edge off as well. for
Yeah,
sure.
100%,
I think,
Get
I
a bit
think
tipsy and you
that
just
kind of
chill.
stuff's already nerve-wracking enough.
Mm.
Get drunk, bro. Fucking disagreed. So you can get drunk. We have
Yeah.
confirmed
Yeah.
it in the dating guide of the weekly order. You can get drunk.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it has to be both.
has
Yeah.
to be
It has to be both,
both.
but also not sloppy drunk.
Not sloppy.
Yes.
So obviously there are
Don't go
T's
over
and
the top.
C's to your drunk.
Don't be
Yes,
blackout.
of course, yeah.
Another big one I agree with. Don't be late. Don't be late, bro.
Mm.
Don't look at me. Don't look at me.
Me and Mike are very, we feel very strongly about being on time. And
I struggled with that for a very, very long
You
time.
still struggle with that, do you not?
Dude,
Fraser?
I've gotten a whole lot. First of all, you have no legs to stand on. But I used to struggle with that a lot. I was late all the time for everything. But I've gotten a lot better
yeah.
over time. So
Okay, I mean,
I think-
don't be late.
I've been late a few times on this podcast.
Yes.
However, in life, like, I mean, I'm fucking punctual.
Mm.
I promise you, I am too punctual. It's
Well, we
frustrating.
would love to see this happen for the podcast.
God damn it.
But obviously for a
5 minutes
date-
late.
Obviously, for a date, you don't want to leave the other person there sitting by themselves because you guys have agreed upon said time, and that person sitting there looking like a sad Susan, bro.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
be on time.
Yeah.
Be punctual in your whole life. If you're gonna say something, be there at that time. It's just common courtesy.
Yeah, and I mean, people often think like, oh yeah, only the cool guys arrive late or whatever.
Stupid.
I mean,
stupid.
Mm.
Don't
we're
be
all
stupid.
adults.
Yeah.
Fucking, I've arranged this so I can see you.
Yeah.
So let's just get there
We're
at the
about to
same
see each
time.
other. I'm not gonna be late to make me look cool, bro.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, this one was from a special someone. They said that you should not have supposed card problems and then not be able to pay for anything. And to give you guys a bit of a backstory, this was actually Fraser's girlfriend who sent us this response.
On their first date.
So I think it was maybe end of the month, Frey, or what was the story?
So I'll discuss because I actually forgot about that, and then obviously we got that in. She was
Well,
very excited to get
she's
that in.
obviously not forgotten about it.
Yeah, so believe it or not, the fucking ATMs weren't reading the chip in my card.
The ATMs or the card
Or
machines?
the card machines. Whatever it was. Like the ATM would spit my card back out, and then the card machines, it just wouldn't work. So I had to break the news, so I can't pay for dinner. Can't pay for our movie. At the time, I had just finished studying. I hadn't got a job yet. So it was bad news all around.
So it didn't look very
didn't
good.
look
Shame.
good,
But
yeah.
at least it still worked out,
I
bro.
don't know if she
Yeah.
believes yet that it was legitimate problems, or if I went on a date without
I think
any
it depends.
money.
Do you still pay now or do you still have card problems now?
Yeah, we mix it up. I mean,
1 week you have card problems, 1 week she has
Yeah.
card problems.
I pay for my booze and she pays for groceries.
There we go. On that, just to
Elaborate on that. I think you're going to say the exact same thing I was going to say. Let's see.
yeah. Well, so I was gonna say on the other end of the scale, it could be like obviously maybe it's not a good thing to do on purpose, but like if you are in that position where your card really isn't working, that could tell whether or not the girl or the guy is like
Keen on this.
pretentious or has a bad traits on their behalf,
In the sense that
yeah.
will they be happy to
'Cause-
cover it, or
yeah, because if they aren't, then that says a lot about their character at the same time.
fair enough.
Yeah.
So that's exactly. My card was working. I was just checking how I reimbursed her fully straight after that.
So what I wanted to elaborate on was, or expand it to, maybe making it a bit wider, saying, do you think guys should pay for every date?
No.
Do you think that's a thing?
Not at all. I mean, the situation between Kim and I now, it's essentially my salary and her salary
Combined, and that's what we
is
have.
combined.
If she didn't know that, now she does.
Yeah. I mean, like, I pay for certain things such as like the rent and various other things, and she does the groceries and electricity. I
And
mean,
sends nudes every now
fuck
and then.
sex. Exactly. That's the payments. So I mean, if I run out of money and I've got to pay for whatever it is. Hopefully it's not rent because that's the beginning of the month. Obviously her money, she'll pay for it.
Yeah.
We go out, whoever's got money.
But we're talking about a first date here.
First dates, I think that yes, if we're
guy
trying to be
should pay,
equal in society and all this shit, I don't think why it should be the guy should pay. I will always offer in a first date situation to be like, listen, I'm going to pay for the bill.
Yeah.
But what would be nice is for the female
to offer
as well.
Yeah.
But I'm more than happy to pay for the whole bill on a first date.
I think what they should do from now on is each person has to have their net worth on a spreadsheet, and the person who earns the most in the first date has to pay.
Oh god. But then that'll become competitive. Like, oh fuck.
So we also got another one here that says rehypnol. Apparently that's a big no-no.
It's a no-no.
Yeah.
Rehypnol is roofies, right?
Yeah, it's roofies.
Okay.
So I agree.
I was reading the wrong manual then.
So the weekly order guide can confirm that you should not use roofies on the first date.
You must not.
You must not use roofies.
It's a big no-no.
It is a crime. We're against it.
The other second thing, which is quite ambitious, is anal. You should not do anal.
You should not do anal.
Which I agree though with. So let's say you do get lucky and you say we're going to have intercourse on the first date. Don't slip it up the bum, mate.
What if I mean, it is consensual anyway, but
if she says bum time, then maybe
I don't know.
Look,
because that's still it's like a red flag on a first date. Like, oh no. I think anal is
choke
like
me and put in my bum.
Exactly.
Like, oh shit.
I think
what am I getting myself into?
that is like something couples will experimentally do at a
couple of months down the line. Pinch my ear, bite my nose.
I feel like this submission might have a story behind it. I think who was that? That was Anton who
it was
came through that.
It was our one of our viewers called Anton.
Okay.
Anton, we calling you out.
Does Anton have a surname? Anton Kutsia.
It's Anton Kutsia.
I think there's a story behind it, and I think you should tell us the story
in the comments. We'll wait.
Let our viewers know.
Did you get anal on the first date, Anton?
Or did you get denied anal on the first date? Anyway,
so where do we?
No, I think you don't do it. No.
I think it's a no.
Because a lot of times I think guys are cheeky and they want to try it out and experiment and they just quickly try to slip it in. It's like, I don't know.
No, I would rather.
I think if you're going to have sex on the first date, do an good old missionary, see what it's like.
Yeah.
Go from there.
Damn lucky to be getting it on the first date.
Yeah, so you've done really well. Yeah.
You're pushing your luck with the anal. Do not take the arm,
okay? Yeah. Last one, but not least, don't tell her she looks different. I agree with this one. But you can't tell her that she looks different to her Instagram than she does in real life.
What if she looks better in real life?
Then you can tell her. But then she's going to be like, what's wrong with my Instagram feed?
Yeah. But most of the time it's going to be the other way around.
Yeah. I think it's just easier to just, don't say anything about that.
Yeah. Don't be like, oh my word, I was expecting fucking Margot Robbie here, but you look like...
Yeah, but okay. So in that
Yennefer
scenario,
from fucking The Witcher.
Before she got out.
Yeah. In that situation, are you not justified to be like, you fucking catfished me?
True. Maybe.
What if it is such a shocking difference that you have to be like, listen, woman, look at this.
Point.
That's what you look like on
if
there.
You go missing and they ask for a photo, this will not suffice.
Yeah.
It's still very offensive though. Look, I think
if
it's...
On a first date, obviously you don't say something rude.
Yeah, if the photos are... of a woman and a man turns up.
Yeah, then you say
then
something.
Be like, hey, listen, you don't look quite like.
Listen, Gilbert. I was looking for Gabby.
Okay, in that sense, I mean, because if it is, even if she does look way better on the Instagram
social
picture
media
than in real life, the picture's still of them, I guess.
Yeah.
So, fuck it.
I wouldn't say
good angle and I got a good photo, so fuck you. Like,
but I think mostly it's not good angle and good photo. It's good Photoshop and good tweaking.
So that's where. But I mean, I would just be like, fuck it.
Yeah,
I just wouldn't say anything.
I wouldn't say anything. Get through the dates. You don't have to go on a second date from there. But
maybe she might still be a lovely person.
Yeah, that's true as well.
That is true.
So you can express disappointment quietly.
Yeah. Don't need to offend people and make people feel shitty about themselves, dude. There's no reason for that.
No. Yeah. So I think we obviously have helped our viewers a lot here. Mm-hmm. I think they're prepared now and ready to go and ask that guy or that girl out. I think they should take what we've said now very seriously. Don't do roofies. Don't try to slip it up the bum.
Don't comment on the Instagram.
Don't make sure your card's working.
Don't be late.
Don't talk about your
and
ex.
you're allowed to get drunk.
That's
So
okay.
that's
Yeah,
the
there we go.
one we disagree
Yeah.
with. Yeah.
Quick summary then.
You can get drunk. It's been confirmed.
Yes.
Yeah, so that concludes our episode. Just want to say, please like, subscribe, watch, share, do all the good things for us, comment. And we've literally been looking at it now, but we've got some really cool guests lined up for you guys. Just trying to schedule them in, but they'll be on soon, and very excited to bring some good fucking content for you guys.
Yeah. I mean, like, also we're just going every weekend now.
Yeah, so we've decided not to go seasons anymore. So we're going to go 2020 every weekend the whole year.
Just gonna
Unless
keep it
obviously
running.
someone goes away or whatever it might be. But
Definitely.
A small brace. But other than that, guys, thank you for joining in. Thanks for being with us. Thanks for the support.
Yeah, and we'll see you guys in the next episode.
Cheers.